First order of business is minutes from the July 8th meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Okay, are you all set?
Moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Okay.
Seeing all hands raised, motion is carried. We'll now move into a public hearing to hear any questions or whatever on the liquor license application for the Cafe Sebago. So Sue, is there anyone that's expressed interest in speaking or anything, do you know?
No, there isn't. Not right now.
And no calls have come in?
No.
In that case, I will close the public hearing and we'll pick that up under new business, the consideration of the license. So the public hearing itself is closed. Next item is election of officers. Is there any motions for the position of chair?
Motion to appoint Rolf as chair.
Second.
Other nominations?
Move to close.
Second.
All those in favor of closing nominations? Opposed? None showing. Okay, motion is on the floor for election of Rolf Olson as chair. All those in favor? Seeing all hands raised, motion is carried.
A motion for Marshall to be vice chair.
Second.
Any other nominations?
No.
Seeing none. Okay, all those in favor of Marshall as co-chair, raise their hands. Seeing all hands in affirmative, motion is carried. Motion for parliamentarian.
Move Teresa Sadak as parliamentarian.
I second that.
I third that.
I fourth it as well.
Disappearing from that.
Uh-oh, did you fade away, Teresa? Are you gone?
Zoom.
In that case, all those in favor of Teresa Sadak as parliamentarian? All hands
Hold up
raised.
2 hands for that.
All hands raised plus one.
I just have to say
Motion is-
ditto on what Rolf says.
Motion is carried. Next item of business is consideration of the Cafe Sebago new liquor license application. Kyle, I think I saw him there. He's took his camera out there. Anything that you want to say to begin?
No, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys may have about the establishment and carrying this on into the future. So I'm just happy that I was able to get in front of you and take the time today to be here. Thank you.
So did everyone get the email from this afternoon with the report from the fire station saying that everything has now been passed and all?
Yes. Yep.
So
The application is in order also.
any questions?
No, I'd like to make a motion to accept or
Second.
grant the permit
Second.
for liquor license.
It's been moved by Lonnie, seconded by Sam. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Seeing all hands raised, motion is carried.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
the liquor license is sitting out on the back table next to the back door of the town office, ready for signature.
Okay,
Thank you.
I should be
And
able to get
Kyle, what
that
happens
tomorrow.
next is they have to come in and sign it, and then I'll make a copy of it, and then I'll give you a call and let you know when you can come get it, so you can send it to the state.
Excellent. Do you have just an approximate turnaround time on that? I spoke with the liquor inspector and they're expecting me as soon as I can get it. So I was just trying to get an idea.
I do it really fast. Everybody else does it really slow.
I mean,
Unless I'm there first.
signatures will be on it tomorrow, so then.
Yeah, we'll be done tomorrow.
Yeah, we're really quick.
Awesome. I really appreciate that. That's going to help get things turning down here. So I look forward to seeing that.
What's your projected starting?
We're pretty much open for food right now. We're making preparations to stock up with the liquor, and then we're hoping to get open for next week. So we're at full function then.
Great.
Fantastic. Well, good luck, Kyle.
Glad to see it going forward, so.
Yeah.
Excellent. Appreciate the
Good luck.
support.
Hopefully you'll keep on the tradition of Sebago.
Yeah, I couldn't let it slip by. When the opportunity was here, you know, I was born and raised here. My roots are here. My family's here. It was a golden opportunity. So I'm looking forward to carrying it on into the future.
Yep,
Cool.
you're our kind of business.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
isn't our first meeting back together, doesn't that restaurant have to bring us food and alcohol?
I heard that.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next item is consideration of quitclaim deed. Sue, you want to fill us in on those?
I have two of them. One is for Fleet Coast, and I guess he passed away, so it has to say the estate of. And the other one is for Linda Irving. She's been making payments and she's finally paid it all off.
All right, so we have a motion to accept those, right?
Right.
All right, I make a motion to accept the short quitclaim deed for, we'll do Linda Irvin first.
Yep.
Book 33358, page 180, book 35913, page 203, book 34141, page 17, book 35065, page 31.
Second,
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Seeing all hands raised, the motion is carried.
I make a motion to accept the quitclaim deed on the estate of David G. whatever Glycos. Let's see, book 27261, page 182, book 29838, page 30, book 32517, page 107, book 27988, page 337, book 30940, page 146, book 33358, page 211, book 28886, page 316, book 31729, page 51, book 20169, page 327.
Second,
Seconds. Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor? Seeing all hands raised, motion is carried.
Thanks, Sue.
I also just wanted to let the board know that I am doing liens on Friday. And from last year to this year, we have one more lien than normal. So this pandemic hasn't really affected collecting taxes at all.
There we go.
That's
good.
great.
Yeah.
Good.
thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Sue.
Yeah, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Okay, next item is consideration of any budget adjustments to close fiscal year 2019-20. Don, do you know if there was anything that needed to be moved there? Don, you're muted.
Can hear you.
You're still muted. You're still
Muted.
muted, Don.
Can hear you. Hear you.
I can read his lips. I can see what he said about you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I've unmuted it a couple times. I'm not sure what's going on. So anyway, I was expecting Kathy Ricker to zoom in, but she was out sick today, so I'm not sure. I don't have any information on that. I could try to mute and give her a call, and we could go back to it if you'd like.
Can we wait till next month to do it, or?
Well, it depends on what she needs to do as far as closing out the books. When
Yeah.
is the audit?
Well,
scheduled?
the auditors are coming, so I think I should give her a call. Let me mute and do that.
Yeah, because if the auditors are coming, we need clean books in order for them to audit it. So, okay, why don't you do that, Don? We'll move
Sue,
on.
you must have sent her a link, Sue, correct?
Yes, I believe I did, yes.
Okay, well,
I send all the participants links.
let me give her a call then.
Mhm.
All right.
We can move on.
Okay, next item is consideration of filling a vacant seat on the Budget Finance Committee. We have been advised by Bob Jones that he would like to take that seat. He originally was going to run for it, then had to pull back at the last minute, but because it didn't get filled, he said he would be willing to go on to that position. He has been on the Budget Finance Committee before, back a number of years ago, before I had gray hair. So he understands how how it works and what needs to be done there, and I think he'd be a good addition there. I did speak with the chair, and he was on board for having us appoint people to fill those spots to till the next annual meeting, or till the next town meeting. So
you want a motion? I'll
Yeah.
put one out there. I make a motion to put Bob Jones on the budget finance to fill a spot.
Second,
discussion?
This gives us 6 seats on the Budget Finance Committee now.
Yes.
Yes.
So there's
Okay.
still one vacant seat. So in the event that someone else comes forward, then at the next select meeting, we can appoint somebody else to that position.
Yeah,
That's
there
fine.
was somebody I was talking to earlier and they decided not to at the last minute.
So the motion on the floor is to appoint Bob Jones to take one of the vacant seats on the Budget Finance Committee until the next town meeting. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Seeing all hands raised, the motion is carried.
I can let him know and I can have, I'll have him and Bob Goslin get in contact.
Next item is consideration of a resignation from the Zoning Board of Appeals. Louise Lester has submitted her resignation letter, so the select board just needs to vote to accept that resignation, and then we'll see going forward if there's other people that want to move into that, which then the board can appoint.
motion to accept.
Second,
All those in favor? Seeing all hands raised, motion is carried. Next item is RSU 14 Withdrawal Committee update. We have finally received the conditional approval from the DOE for the withdrawal agreement. One of the next steps is on September the 3rd, there will be a public hearing, which is actually to be run by the RSU 14 board.
When is it, September 3rd?
September 3rd at 6:30, and they'll have to organize that, send out the announcement on that, publicize that. This is in accordance with one of the bullet points in the separation timeline, and so they'll need to conduct that meeting in accordance with the remote participation requirements of MRS 403A through remote access as provided under paragraphs IJ2 of Executive Order 56 FY 1920 dated June 3, 2000. A copy of the separation agreement is on the website, as well as the short form of the proposed budget, as well as the timeline of what all the submittals were back and forth between the RSU 14 Withdrawal Committee and the school board, so people can see that. The next things that we will be doing is having a series of meetings from the Withdrawal Committee to the town, so that they can get information from the Withdrawal Committee on what things are being done, how the separation agreement works out as far as positions and things like that, and as well as discussion on the proposed budget. So there'll also be information going into the Roadrunner and information going on to the website. So we're at the point now where there'll be more information that we can be putting out there. What was happening before was, because we were in the process of negotiating the separation agreement, all that information was being done in executive sessions, so we could not release what was being done under in those discussions. Now that the separation agreement has been signed, it is now a public document, so it is posted on there so people can see what is in there. And a lot of the questions that people had are picked, the answers to those are picked up inside of there, as far as programs, as far as real estate, as far as contracts and things like that. So there's a lot that can be seen there, but there's an awful lot of questions still that people want, and that's the purpose of the meetings that we'll have to get those, and we'll get the dates on those posted as soon as we can agree on what those dates are going to be and on exactly how we can do those. We'll have to look at how do we do that, as far as what we can do inside of buildings, what's can be done from a Zoom standpoint and things like that. So we'll have to, we'll have to have some discussions with Don and Sue and things like that to find out how best we can do that to get both the people that want to be in the live environment and the people that want to be in the Zoom environment. So just keep looking for postings there.
I have some concerns. We are down to like the wire here, I think. And I think what's happening is I think we need to have as many informational meetings as we can, as quickly as we can, and just driving the information home of answers to questions. I'm a little bit worried because we're going to have absentee ballots. I don't know when those start. I know right now with everything that's going on with COVID and the schools, Chris has done a really good job, as far as trying to make sure the schools are safe and stuff like that. But I know parents, they want information, with how the schools are open, kind of like the same thing as people want information regarding what will happen if we withdraw, so the more that we can give them, as soon as we can give them, as much as we can give them, I think we need to do it real quick. So I guess my one concern is when do we start sending absentee ballots out?
Absentee ballots will be sent when the absentee ballots are sent out for the federal election.
Well, I know that, but what is that date?
I should have the ballots 30 days before the election, which is roughly October 3rd. So the first week of October, ballots will start being mailed. We are already accepting requests for absentee, and we are getting dozens a day.
So we have technically from September 3rd till October 3rd to educate the public, is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So clear your schedules, everybody that's on the board. We're going to be busy. So,
Have we resolved some of the issues that happened with the presentations with regards to the electronics, the Zoom, the ability for the broadcast studio to put up documents on the screens?
There is a protocol that Kevin wrote and Dawn reviewed, I reviewed, and I'm not sure who else looked at it, Dawn.
Rolf saw it.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be a protocol that will avoid problems in the future. And so if we haven't sent you a copy, we'll do that.
Would you please do that?
I mean,
Yes.
essentially, the key is it's going to be PowerPoint presentations. So
That's fine, as long as I know how to do it. That's
Well,
fine.
If we're
and
gonna
then
be-
and what they'll be done is that they need to be sent to the it depends if it's going to be done. Well, if you're going to have someone there and they're going to plug into that computer, then they need to see that a couple days before. If we want them to integrate it, then it needs to be further ahead than that. But I mean, I think the key is if it's done as a PowerPoint, then we don't get into formatting issues and things like that, because it's PowerPoint does that for you.
All right.
Fine.
But what about this? Because I know that the school board is starting to have meetings in the Jordan Small Gym and at the Wyndham Auditorium. So we're going to have, Joe is putting together a PowerPoint presentation regarding all the questions that were answered, the positives of withdrawals and stuff like that. Marshall has his. I believe the Jordan Small Middle School has a pull down line
Mhm.
screen. Thank you. And that's what I'm thinking we're going to be doing it on, because to me, I think we should be doing it from Jordan Small Gym. And that's where we would have to put it.
Well, I think it's got to be a broadcastable entity. Because, you're going to have, you're going to have, and I guess I'm not sure what they did on the people that came in on Zoom on the one, when they had the school board meeting there, because that was a hybrid in-person and Zoom
Yep.
meeting.
And I was on that meeting, and what they did is that you could either chat, you could call in a number, and you were kind of put on the phone on hold. I know on another meeting that they did through Zoom is the same thing, where you call in and you're put on hold until they open up all the public lines, is what it is. And I would request probably to do that same thing, as everybody gets a number, you are on the line, you're listening to the meeting, you are on hold through it, or you can actually get on one of those great big Zoom meetings. I think there was like almost 300 people or whatever the other night at the school board meetings because of doing that presentation. The only bad thing was the sound was so bad in the auditorium. Oh, it was really bad. And then they had to keep walking around with the one camera with the mic, and stuff like that. But any way that we can get a visual for people out, I also think that we should do some kind of a mailing to people too. So this is stuff that I think we need we have to have a plan by September 3rd. That's it.
Well, I'm not on the committee, but if there's anything I can do, Teresa, to help, I'd be glad to.
I might have to
Teresa?
take some of those signs with masks and attach it to the back.
Who handled the broadcasting of the school board meeting? Was it Kevin and his team, or was it the people from Wyndham?
It's the people from Wyndham, because
People
from what I'm
Wyndham.
understanding that they are down there doing it, because the 2 meetings that they did have was in the auditorium. So I believe it's theirs. So I think we would probably have to talk to Kevin, what is best procedure here.
Right.
Okay, well, I'll get a hold of Don and Kevin, and we can, see how we work, because, it's got to be something that's tied together so that it can be both broad, because we want to live stream it as well as have in person. So, and the whole purpose of having multiple meetings is that the fact that you're not going to get everybody all at one meeting anyway, because you're still, if people wanted to attend, you're tied to the 50-person
Right.
limit anyway. So.
Well, and I think people may come up with more questions. The other thing that they did at that broadcast for the first one, the second one was the vote. The first one was they had a chat on the side with the Zoom, and it was huge, because what they ended up coming out with is a bunch more questions than they put out online. A frequently asked questions, every question that was asked on that chat, they put up and they answered it. So if people can do that through a chat, someone would be watching the chat part of it. We can answer questions that way if they come up and they can't get them through.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So we'll talk. We'll get Kevin we'll get Kevin in the middle of it to figure out how to, how best to integrate the various medias there, so we can get that. But as far as working with Kayla on stuff to go into the Roadrunner, I think Teresa, hadn't you been working with her to some degree on that?
I told her that we were going to have a big article. So, and Sue let me know not to interfere, I think, with her her postings too. But I think between that, the Roadrunner, that article, I'd like to put something huge, even in an article in the Eagle, that maybe we can get like a big story on it. Joe is putting together that PowerPoints that we can look at beforehand. And once I think we start getting it, I think that we should do a flyer, to be quite honest, that would go in addition to what we put in that Wyndham Eagle, that would go as an insert, that every home would get it. So then we know that they've got it.
Okay. What I'm going to suggest now is, we'll schedule in very short order here, a withdrawal committee meeting, so we can go through
Steps,
those items, because really belongs in that committee. This is more just top level, you know, the nuts and bolts of how we're going to do that. We'll get that worked out there and then get that put in place.
Right, and I think what I'm trying to do here is cover any comments that are made that people say that they're not hearing updates. So
Yeah.
this way they're getting information in here to look forward to another meeting, and we can give them a lot more information and where we're at.
Yep. Is the one that's under the name Wayne, is that Kathy?
No, I think that's Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
Hello.
You just
Can
see
you
your
hear
name.
me? Yeah, I haven't figured out how to turn that on.
Mine was new. Do you have a little button where your camera is at the top? There's a little slide that goes back and forth.
I
Try
think
that.
he doesn't want to turn it on because it's pretty easy.
Take my advice.
We'll
don't
go
touch
with
any buttons.
user error. We'll go with user.
Yeah,
I'm
really.
on an iPad too, so I'm not on a
Oh,
right computer.
Well, Wayne, we actually went, we went based off of your report that everything was, you'd reviewed everything and everything was all set there. So
Okay.
we approved the liquor license.
Okay, very good.
So you can remain faceless if you want.
Well, I had trouble getting into the Zoom, so sorry
okay.
I was late.
Don, did you hear anything from Kathy then?
I spoke with Kathy and she sends her apologies. She'll have it tomorrow. Tomorrow. It was not done. And she says that September will be fine.
Okay.
If it's in the September meeting, that's fine. The auditors will be here and working, but they won't be completing, obviously, you know, in that shorter order.
Okay. So we'll we'll hold that over to the September meeting then. Is there any public comment?
Can we
Go
get
ahead.
an idea of what those are beforehand, please? Don?
You'll have them tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, they'll be emailed tomorrow.
Any public comment? Any calls or anything that have come in?
No, none.
Selectman comment.
I just sent a text to Bob Goslin just about Bob Jones and touch base with him and gave him his phone number.
Okay.
And for people to keep an eye out because a lot's going to be happening pretty fast with the withdrawal committee. And anybody has questions, if you don't feel like they're going to be answered and you want to submit them to anybody on that board, please do.
We do have some type of budget or something for like flyers and things like that, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, the committee was, when the committee was formed, there was an authorization of funds for that. And that took, you know, that was contemplated to take care of both the consultant, the lawyer, or not just both, but it would have been the consultant, the lawyer, plus any incidental costs. So publications and things like that are incidental costs.
Awesome. Thank you.
I guess the only other comment, the comment that I would have is that, you know, just again, a shout out to all the workers in the town that have been getting things done in the face of not the most optimal conditions, to say the least, and finding ways to get things done, and at the same time taking care of what the people out the town need. So there's been a lot of good work done as far as keeping people going, as far as getting some grants and things in here. So there's a lot of commendations to go around, and there'll be more, I'm sure, before all is said and done. But thanks from me and thanks from the board.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Anything else under selectmen's comments?
Well, I'm not a selectman, so is this not an appropriate place?
Well, we'll let it slide this time.
I would just like to put a word out there about the election coming up. We've had a lot of folks call with a lot of different concerns based mostly on what they're seeing on the news and the bickering back and forth with politicians and whatnot. And while it's fine that people ask for ballots now, there is really no urgency. We will have ballots on October or the beginning of October. We will get them mailed out to everyone. But using the phone to ask is a good method, but it's a lot of extra paperwork on our end. So if folks could hold off a bit until I believe the state system got put up today, so that they would not only be able to request their absentee ballot online, but they also get a confirmation that I actually physically received it. And a lot of the folks that are calling don't get that confirmation and then call again to ask. And with the limited staff we have, it's sometimes a bit difficult to keep up with those kind of requests. So I just want to assure the folks that we really we'll do our utmost to make sure that everybody that asks for a ballot gets one. I haven't had an election yet where someone didn't get one that requested one, and I don't intend to start now. So that's just my kind of plug for the election, that there will need to be a bit of patience, especially if you ask for it in September. I mean, in August, you're not going to get it until October. So it will look like there's something wrong or whatever. There isn't. We simply won't have ballots until then to mail out.
Yeah. Okay. Town manager's report.
Okay, well, I'll start with confirming the dates for the upcoming meetings. We have September 8th as a tentative date and October 13th. And of course, the reminder of the upcoming holiday schedule, Monday, September 7th, Labor Day. So if that's all set, I would like to follow on with a little bit on your comment, Rolf, about some of the stuff that's happening, if you don't mind.
No, go right ahead.
So I'd like to, call out a thank you to Nathan and the Public Works Department. They have got the finished surface on Gore Road and Brown Roads, pavement now complete. Shaw Road is waiting on pavement now. Mountain Road work will start next week. Nathan's been very busy and his crew has been very busy, as have some contractors renovating the back office here at the town office. If you haven't been in, get your PPE and stop in, or off hours, take a look. It's looking really great. So thank you to Nathan once again on that. With respect to public safety, Bruce and Kathy Goslin at least, will be having a Zoom meeting tomorrow with FEMA to learn about all the newly revised and amended rules for reimbursement. So we want to get tuned up on that so that we can get our request in and make sure that we get all of the reimbursable funds possible that are related to the costs incurred to support our activities during the pandemic. I would like to have a special call out to Kathy Goslin. You all know this, but the folks maybe in Zoom and TV land do not maybe know this, and that is that she got a $10,000 grant for the food pantry, and then followed by a $5,000 second grant to help the Raymond Food Pantry. So that's really, really great work by Kathy Goslin. And
yes.
The other thing, of course, we had the $80,000 grant, and then the participant grant with the town of Wyndham and the Chamber of Commerce and Wedco. That was about 180. So we're trying our best to get funds that are available to support us. And in the public safety area, again, we're conducting interviews now for 4 new paramedic EMT firefighters, I'm sorry. Tasseltop, as you all know, Tasseltop is having a banner year despite the late start and the restricted capacity of the beach. And so I'd like to recognize our new rec director, Joe Crocker, and his team. They're doing an excellent job. Revenues have now exceeded last year's level, and more good weather hopefully to go. So everything's really going well at Tasseltop Park. The backpack program. Thanks go out to Kathy Goslin again, Teresa Sadak, Kayla Gonzalez, Jessica Fay, and all the other volunteers. That program, as I understand it, will run through September 1st. It's every Tuesday, 11 to 12:30. This is the food program that the town has run this summer to pick up where the school left off. So congratulations to those folks for making that happen and helping people in need. Along that line, today I learned that the Raymond Village Library is going to be undertaking an initiative to help students that maybe don't have robust internet connections, which is probably a lot of folks. They're going to set up an area underneath their tents outside the library. And they put out a call. They were looking for picnic tables and donations. So I consulted today with Rolf and Teresa, and we're going to provide those picnic tables for the library. And then when they're through with them, they can go in the Tasktop Park. But I think it's great that they're going to be putting up some sort of a, initiative to help students that are more than likely going to be doing a lot of things online, despite the hybrid nature of the startup plan. So we're doing what we can do, and we are, as Sukar alluded to, on taxes. We're great on taxes. General revenues, we're good. The town has gotten through the pandemic thus far, absent the expenditures we had to make to support the safety initiatives, pretty much as business as usual. And I would join Rolf in saying that the citizens have been great, our employees have been great. We're working through this together, and so thank you to all.
Can I add something with Dawn's real quick? Is a huge shout out to the people that have donated money to the backpack program.
Oh, yes.
That has been huge. And there's a gentleman, and Dawn can talk more about this, that's been donating food cards, $50 food cards from Hannaford to the town. So Dawn,
That will be featured in the Roadrunner on Friday.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so we'll wait for that big reveal on Friday. So yeah, so a lot of people have contributed and done extraordinary things to help support our community. So it's really been great.
Cool.
And I guess is that it? Did we cover the other stuff? I think so.
Well, next was the, we, kind of an interim update on, we had asked to kind of look through the CEO fees and see where we are in relation to other towns and things like that, and see if we need to do any updating on that.
Well, that I think Sue was going to cover. That's the next item.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, Alex wasn't able to be here tonight. He had a previous engagement, a meeting he had to attend, I believe, in Poland. So he's at a different select board meeting. What I did was I got code fees from the towns that were part of the KMA Human Resources Consulting survey that was done last. And we added to that Casco because Alex had just come from Casco and was very familiar with their fees. We found that on the whole, Raymond was fairly close to everyone else. We were in middle of the road for some, and a little low for a few of them. He is recommending a few changes with alterations and renovations. He's suggesting going up by $5 for some categories and up to $10 or $20 for another. So there are some pieces, but it's not, the new building costs were spot on where we ought to be. The commercial were spot on where we ought to be. He did find a couple of categories which he found interesting, and I haven't ever collected any fees from it, and neither have any of my cohorts. And that's moving within town and moving into town. We wanted to charge folks $25 to move in or move out, and
it sounds like California.
Why would we do that?
Years.
And I remember asking Chris about it when he was here, and he said that, well, it's always been there. So I think that's just one that's been carried along, and Alex doesn't want to enforce it quite literally, because how would you?
Yeah.
People change houses a lot. What he also looked at were the penalties, and we have rather a convoluted list of rules and fees for penalties. Most towns just simply go, if you don't get a permit and it's found out, we'll charge you double the permit price. And he would rather just simplify it and go with that.
Oh, wow.
And yeah,
Well,
so
I think that makes sense. Yes.
So I don't know that it would really affect any of the select board, but
Well, I mean,
I got my permit.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, what we're looking at is for the next meeting, having that cleaned up as far as presenting it as a new fee schedule and whatnot.
Yes.
And eliminating the things that shouldn't be there and whatnot. So really
Yes.
doing a cleanup on that whole thing.
Yes, and
Correct.
getting us a little more in line with some of the other towns.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sounds
Just
good.
as an aside, if you construct without a permit and that leads to discovery by a real estate agent, then you have an illegal house and it complicates the sale of that house.
Yes.
I didn't do it.
Well, yeah, but I've been driving by, I've been watching.
Oh,
Always have a lot going on at your house, T.
That's
I
my-
told my husband, we're done. This is
It looks
it.
beautiful though. It really does. It always looks great.
So I told him, I said, we're doing that, searching for gold rush here in Raymond instead of Alaska.
Well, I
And
mean,
the-
you know, at
the other
end of
thing,
the-
Paul-
at the end of the day, it all comes down to one of my harping points, which is consistency. If you're consistent in everything you do, then no one can complain about it. They may not like what it is, but if it's consistent, person A to person B to person C, then, you know, the reason for griping goes away.
Words of knowledge.
Okay, is there any other items? No, I'll
Motion to
entertain
adjourn.
a second.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor? Seeing all hands raised, motion is carried, meeting is adjourned.
Hi, guys.
Have a good
Bye.